Hello everyone, we are going to start our next dye blanket experiment. I want to revisit our iron and tannin interactions because I got some new leaves. I have some eucalyptus, I have some sumac leaves that are really pretty. This is sumac, this is California sycamore, and then this is, dang it, I already forgot. I think it's cottonwood. Anyway, and also a thing to remind you of. You can always make dye baths and things from invasive species, and then it's a very responsible thing to do because you're helping the local wildlife. So don't be afraid to kill invasive plants for your art. I'm going to get some rolls going and some iron dye blankets. I'll try to remember to get a picture of one for you, and we're going to get going. I want to do at least one silk leaf print today. I'm going to be brave. The main difference in this experiment is that I'm going to dip the leaves in the iron dye bath, well, I guess it is a dye bath, well, the iron bath that the iron dye blankets are in, and I'm going to dip them in that and then blot them off really lightly. So hopefully we will get a more clear transfer onto our fabrics. I think that should help, and I think that's probably why the other dyers were doing it. They didn't tell me why they were doing it, but this is what I've surmised from our science experiments. Okay, here's what the sycamore leaves look underneath the iron dye blanket, and then I will cover this in plastic. I'll roll it and wrap it as you have seen before, but I realized I had not put a picture of the iron dye blanket in the last videos, so I'm going to get rolling before these start changing color. The new set of iron blanket dye babies are in, and we will see you in 2 hours. Okay, it's official. Our steam bath is... Ooh, making suction. Good God. Our steam bath is done. And remember that when we see the outside, we're seeing the dye blanket, not the actual printed part. Interesting. These are always so exciting. I am amazed that the sycamore leaves retained any color throughout that very aggressive process. Wow. Good for it. Okay, doesn't look like we melted anyone. That's good news. All right. And we will see, you can see the interesting rust reactions happening on the stainless steel, and that's why you don't use things you want to use with food for your dye bath, because weird goop gets on it. All right. I'm going to let these cool off until they're touchable, and then we will unwind them and see what our third printing experiment has brought about. Hello everyone, we have arrived at the unveiling stage. Keep in mind that some of these were not, that one is still very hot. Do I have a less hot option? Some of these were not necessarily done on oak gall tanned oak gall tanned fabric. I was testing everything. Oak gall tannin is what primarily, or tannins in general, interact with the iron mordant to create the leaf prints. So there's a couple of these that I did some fold over attempts to try a different technique. Find the end of this. There it is. Let's see how we did. So this will be the dye blanket on top. Oh my gosh, I can already tell it's amazing. This is the cottonwood tree. Oh my gosh. I did several pieces. Oh, the wood's very hot at the end. Okay, still very spicy. Okay, here we go. I'll try not to drag this out too much. Here's all the plastic, thankfully not covered in goop and flowers, which makes it much easier to clean up. Okay, so first of all, the dye blankets look amazing. I made a couple. Wow, this weird muslin takes this color in the wildest ways. Oh, I love this. Okay, so there's our dye blankets, which are usually trash. And here is our printing. Ooh! Oh, we did it, look! How fun. They aren't perfect, but it is, in fact, This, obviously, the cottonwood leaves had a lot of natural tannin in them because they turned black where they were, rather than being a resist, like if the fabric had been mordanted in alum, the fabric would have turned black and they would have been more of a resist than anything. But now we know that cottonwood trees will print. And that is awesome data to have. Look, look, look at the little ghosts. It's ghosts of the tree. And it's like a little ghost of the memory of you collecting it with whomever you collected it with. And that's just one side. Ugh, these are so fun. Okay, that's just trash. Okay, this is the other side of a smaller piece. I tried to do lots of sizes. One, because I didn't want to lift it with my poor, fragile, obliterated wrists. Two, because I wanted to have lots of options for next month when we'll be using all this stuff. And here's our other print, which is much darker. Oh my gosh, I really enjoy this process. Let me lay these out one more time so we can see them, because they are so fun. Oh my gosh, I love how this super rough muslin takes prints. I think it's so unique. I would make bags out of that. I'm gonna have to steal my dad's sewing machine and learn to not be afraid of it, is what's gonna happen there. That is what is gonna happen. Okay, so there's our cottonwood. Oh my gosh. Okay, yay cottonwood leaves. Thank God for Google Lens, because I obviously had no idea what the trees were that I was looking at. I misidentified just about every tree I saw today. All right, this one is a little less hot, so we'll go with him. This is, again, that really rough muslin that seems to like this process so very much. And I'm going to go buy more of that at Joann's, because it was like $2.99 a yard. And if I don't have to buy the fancy muslin, I will not. All right, so dye blanket on top. This looks like, oh, this looks like Sycamore prints. Oh, wow, look at that. And this is just the plastic. Okay, get the plastic out of the way. Oh my gosh, look how beautiful. Wow. Wow. Oh, I'm going to be so excited to show my husband when he wakes up, because he helped me go steal these plants and didn't let me walk into a homeless encampment. Thank you, husband. Look at, look at, look at. Look at this. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Get ready for me to print everything I own in sycamores. You're all getting sycamore leaves for Christmas. And we'll see which way dyed better. It looks like both ways dyed neat, because it'll print differently depending on what part of the plant is facing up or down. And it looks like these ones liked to be top down rather than vice versa. Top up? That's not how you would say that. Oh my gosh, I am in love. I'm so happy that I put up with my back pain to stand and put these in today. I really wanted to have a, like, epic success. And that is an epic success. Look at that. That's the biz right there. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. These are absolutely our best yet. I am stupefied. This is amazing. This is amazing. I have to figure out which one of these, God, which one of these was the dye blanket? Oh, I didn't take very good notes on this experiment. I was too excited. Okay, that's just two of them. Oh my God, this is gonna be the longest video ever. I'll try to talk faster. Okay, this looks like fancy cotton in here. I try to keep these under like 25 minutes, but my steaming ones always seem to go over. Maybe it's because I steam 6 things at one time rather than one. Okay, this one was 2 pieces of paper, or 2 pieces of fabric, plus 1 longer piece of fabric. And it was just eucalyptus. And because I didn't mordant the fabric with anything that was tannin-y, pretty much the only thing that can interact with it is the dye blanket, which is this top bit. And it looks like we did not get a very good reaction. I must not have gotten enough iron into this dye blanket, but it is kind of a fun pattern. So I just didn't get enough iron into that one, and we can just reuse all of that fabric. We will just mort into it and reuse it for another printing. And who knows, maybe the undercarriage of the color will be better. Okay, so that one, I swear that the fancy cottons just don't like the same reactions. I get more beautiful prints off more heavily textured fabric. That is what I've noticed over and over again. Okay, how did I wrap this monster? Okay, I'm seeing some reactions. Whoa, wow, okay. Is this the silk? I can't even tell what I'm unwrapping. This is so crazy looking. What am I even looking at here? Oh my God. Look. Oh my God. This is the other sumac. This is sumac on loquat. That's the loquat. Whoa. This is the dye blanket side. Whoa. Okay, the loquat leaf continues to be the best thing that ever happened to us. I swear. Oh my God. Am I a genius? Am I a wizard genius? Can we confirm or deny this? Okay, here's a dye blanket. Very cool looking. Here's another dye blanket. Also very cool looking. But holy frickin' fork. The loquat continuing to come and clutch my beautiful baby loquat tree. Oh no, it's so cool. Stop it. Stop it. That loquat tree will lucky to be ever have a dead leaf near it again. I'm taking every leaf it has. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. I cannot. I can't. I can't. That's just loquat. That is all that is loquat and sycamore leaves. What am I even supposed to do with information that is that cool? Look at this. Look at how amazingly beautiful this is. I don't even, holy crap. I've seen people do those online and they didn't look that good. Oh my God. Okay, there's two more. There's two more. We can do this. Okay, this one is the first one I've ever tried to fold over and print. I put the iron dye blanket in the center of the two and then folded it over. And we will see. I believe I did the sumac tree with this guy. And, oh, extra plastic. Okay. And here we go. Oh, this is hot. Okay, we definitely got some reactions. Oh, that's hot. Okay. Okay. That's still 200 degrees, as it turns out, everybody. Okay. Why did I make this so long? I should have made the other one longer. What was I thinking? Okay. Here's our dye blanket. Or no, this is actually the back of the print. Okay. All right, so that one also less than perfect. So the sumac printed mostly onto its dye blanket and not a whole bunch onto anything else, but what it did print was awesome. So that one, I think it might just need an oak gall tannin as the mordant, but I think it does have a lot of potential because this is beautiful as a pattern. That I will revisit. I have apparently plenty of sumac trees to go cut down, and I will because there's tons all over the neighborhood. Okay, last one. This is our silk. Oh Lord, I gotta shake all this off of here. We will reuse this as a dye blanket. There's no reason to keep that, even if, well, I mean, if it dries and it's cool, we'll keep it, but I don't foresee that happening. And then we have our last one, which is the silk. And this one I'm a little nervous about. It was mordanted in oak gall tannin, so it should work. But I did a bunch of different kinds of eucalyptus on it because I just wanted to see how they would print. And it looks like, oh my, well, things happened. Oh, a lot of things happened. Oh, good God. Oh my God. Wow. I don't know if it was just a really lucky day or what. But here is half of the scarf. Oh my gosh, you guys are going to freak when you see the color on this. Look at the color. Look at the color of this. Those are those weird little silver dollar eucalyptuses. Who would have thought they would bleed red? I didn't. Okay, cleaning these off. We also got some beautiful prints onto the dye blanket that are just very subtle. Well, this was an extremely successful trip, and I'm going to have to thank my husband for tolerating my intolerance of heat and light and going out with me to get all these leaves, because these turned into absolute flippin' stunners. And whatever this eucalyptus thing is, if that color stays in when I wash it, I will freak the geek out. All right, and it looks like one side got dyed much darker, and I can't explain any of that information. No idea. No idea why. But it's beautiful. Why are you so much more beautiful than your brother? Why? I don't understand these laws. Oh my God, but I love it. I hope that color stays in. All right, I'm gonna wash these and get them hanging, and I will see you when these are a bit more dry. I cannot believe how well this went. What an amazing printing day. All right, I will see you when these are ready to be examined. To review our most successful, or what I would consider successful now that we're getting a little better at this, going in the direction that I would like it to. Now, interesting, this piece was mordanted not with oak gall tannins. It was mordanted with some other mordant. I don't remember which one. But what happened was the iron dye blanket transferred through into and reacted with the leaf. So the leaf itself had tannins in it that reacted with the iron, but because the whole thing wasn't embedded with tannins, the only place that the iron had effect was where the leaves are, and that is the only place that it turned black, where the tannins had been or were able to react with the iron. And then on the dye blanket, we got this wild yellow extraction that I have not seen other people get. And I don't know if it's the growing season, but this is from the cottonwood trees from the park at the end of the street that we had to drive to and use Google Lens to figure out what the hazel tree we were looking at. But I love how this one came out. I think I could get it to come out even better if I simply used oak gall tannins instead of just whatever else thing I used. That seems to be the ultimate in making the transfers. So that is our cottonwood. There was another piece of it, but it was equally nice. Here is one of my other favorites from the day. One, the dye blanket looks so cool with the little ghost prints, the little shadows of the leaves that we had. I love this like little drop shadow effect that it gives the whole piece of fabric. And then its actual print is on this wonderful Kaufman muslin again. This stuff really likes to print. And I think that the leaves that I'm putting down, ribs down, meaning face up, are coming out better than the ones that I'm putting face up. Like I'm flipping them over and putting the face side of the leaf, the top part of the leaf down. That seems to mostly work as a color block or a dye block, whereas these ones seem to make more of a print. So I'm going to revisit the Sycamores for sure, one. And I'm going to try putting them all with their bottom side down, which will mean that the print comes out face up. But I'm in love with this weird purpley green we got. I am obsessed. And this was oak gall and alum mordanted. So again, it had a great reaction with the iron. And that is probably my second favorite of the day. Now, the sumac, we did not get a very good print on, but I think that is because I did not have it on an tannin mordanted fabric. It was just on, I believe, alum triformate. So where the iron penetrated really well, the print is actually very cool, and it makes this really interesting texture that I would like to revisit. But I think that one also has to just go onto a straight iron or a straight oak gall mordant to get a better print of that one. So the ones that are not perfect, or like the previous dye blanket that is very cool, but it's not cool unless you're really up close to it, I will probably just recycle these as more dyeing blankets and just reuse them until they're too gross to keep reusing. I think my personal favorite of the day is this one, mostly because it is my own idea, one, and two, it's from my beloved loquat dye. I loquat dyed this whole sheet of fabric, or I guess I mordanted it in it, but it got boiled in it, long story short. I used the sycamore leaves. Obviously I used them face up because the dye blanket took on the cool print. That's what I can't seem to get on this fancy cotton. It will dye block for it, but it doesn't print like the stuff with high texture, which is the muslins. I find that so strange. Anyway, so the higher the texture on the fabric, the better it seems. But this loquat reacts so beautifully with the iron, and then this unique bubbling I'm getting, that is literally just from the plastic, where it's contacting or not making contact, or allowing the iron blanket to make contact or not. And it's just little air bubbles trapped in there. And I think it's adding the most wonderful and unique texture. This is my absolute favorite one so far, and I will probably be trying to recreate that for the rest of my life. My final keepable print of the day was the first silk scarf I've done with the dye bath. I just tried to wait until I had done it once or twice and knew the process before I went destroying. Now, what I learned, where the dye blanket is not touching, it will not change anything. It must be in full contact. So if I want to do this again, which obviously I do, because look at this thing, I need to have a dye blanket that is wider than my piece of fabric. So I learned that. We learned that the weird silver dollar eucalyptus turns bright red. It looks blue in person. It turns bright red when you react it with oak gall tannins. That's what this silk was soaked in. I used just 3 kinds of eucalyptus on this, both dry and fresh. And because I was running low on plastic, I folded this in half with the dye blanket in the center of the 2 pieces. I would not have thought that would have made such a big deal, but here's what the other half looks like. It is like I made 2 different scarves. It quite literally is 2 different scarves on one scarf. It's like the light and the dark version of the scarf. It perfectly lines up because and I'm realizing now that it's probably because it was not in contact. So if I ever want to do this again, I need to get a long enough dye blanket, unless I want to create a weird negative positive thing. But that was definitely a learning experience, but I still think it's one of the most beautiful things I have ever made, even if I made it all wonky. And it's half frontsies, backsies. But I could sew it together, I guess, or I could make a really pretty wall hanging. But look how beautiful that reaction is with the oak gall, tannin, and iron. This is so cool. I really hope some of you try the steaming method, because it is just a blast to unroll these. Anyway, I sincerely thank you for coming along on this iron dye bath journey We will be going on another one, obviously, where I can test out all the stuff that I learned this time, and probably do more of this loquat goodness, because that is the dream for me. This is the perfect unobtainium of leaf prints, and that is now the goal. Except I'd like to do this again, but better, and not have it be half and half. We can do better. We learned so much today. I thank you so much. If you would leave me a like and subscribe, or let me know which your favorite was from today's iron dye blanket experiment, I'd be so grateful to know. This is my first experience too, so I'm learning right along with you. And I will see you in the next experiment. Bye!